What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first video of Campus and Pro. My name is Ayden Rodriguez, and I'm joined by Preston Griffiths.
And today we're going to be doing our preseason college football top 25 rankings. All right, Aiden, do you want to start off with number 25 on your list?
Number 25 on my list is Indiana.
Indiana, okay.
What about
All right,
you?
well, for me, I have Boise State
Boise State. Okay. Why Boise State?
because the guy Maddox Manson's back. And if they can do anything off of last year, if they can keep building off that. And I don't know if you remember, but they still have a good running back room after Gentry left. So I think they're going to be solid this year.
Okay, I agree with that. I do have Indiana at 25. I think they're not going to be as good as last year. They were 11-2 last season, which exceeded everybody's expectations, but they do have a lot of returning players. I still think they'll make some noise over there in the Big Ten. But yeah, Boise State's a good pick for you, I think.
You
I
gotta
think
remember
losing
Indiana,
Ginty.
they have a very easy non-conference schedule that will help them.
Yes, they do. And then going off what you said, Boise State. I know losing Genty's big, but I think they'll still be competitive in what, the Mountain West? Are they in the Mountain West or Pac-12
Yeah, I
now?
think they're the Mountain West this year.
Okay,
All
cool.
right, I'll take 24. All right,
24, who you
24.
got?
I have Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. I
Ole
have
Miss.
Texas A&M.
Okay. Why?
Why Texas A&M? I just feel like it's a team that's always going to be ranked. They're always ranked in the low 20s. So I decided to stay with A&M. I think they'll be decent this year. I think they're actually going to exceed expectations this year. We'll see. I mean, we say that every year about A&M, so don't be surprised if they
That's
do or
fair.
don't.
Personally, I have Ole Miss because they're always going to be a solid team. Because they have a good coach and they're always going to have good players, being in the SEC. But I think
Hmm.
their defense will be solid and they'll carry them to a few wins here and there. But they'll obviously drop a few here and there.
Yeah,
Are
I
you gonna hit
agree.
23?
Let's go to 23. What do you got?
I have Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Okay, that's an interesting pick. Um, I have mine as Baylor. Trying not to keep
Ooh,
it biased, but I do think Baylor will be a good team
that's a fair
this
ranking.
year.
I mean,
Yep.
I
I
got Tech
think
because they have all that NIL money. They got all these transfers
they
coming
do.
in. But I really wonder how they're all going to blend together because I feel like all that transfers, a lot of people with high egos and high expectations.
That's a very fair point. I know they got a lot of transfers, yeah. They spent a lot of money in the portal this offseason. And I think they'll be competitive in the Big 12 for sure. And I kind of went with Baylor because I do think Baylor's gonna have a good year. They were really tough non-conference, so we'll find out after that with Auburn and SMU, see where they're standing. But yeah, all right, who you got at 22, man?
I have Michigan.
Michigan? Okay, okay. I have Texas Tech, a little similar to yours, but Michigan's not a bad choice. Why do you have Michigan?
I feel like Michigan, they obviously have a great defense. I feel like their coach is still a little, we're not too sure about him because, there was Harbaugh, but now it's like we don't really know how good of a coach he is. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Michigan is great, but it's really how far can Bryce Underwood take them? That would be the really determining factor for them.
A true freshman, so we'll see how that goes. And similar stuff to what you said about Texas Tech, NIL, and I think they'll make some noise in the Big 12 for sure.
All right, who you
All
got at
right,
21?
21, I have Oklahoma.
Okay.
How
I
about
have I
yourself?
have Kansas State.
Kansas State? Okay, that's a fair ranking. Why Kansas State at 21?
I feel like they're gonna be better than they were last year, and I feel like Avery Johnson's gonna have a great year this year. And Kansas State, they have a strong front seven, which I think can win them some games, especially in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's very valid.
How come? Oklahoma?
Oklahoma, I was gonna have them actually like around 25, but I do think they're gonna be a little higher in the AP top 25 this season. I know they got Washington State transferred John Mater, and then they got Jaden Ott out of Cali, so I think those two additions will be huge for sure. And they got a lot of other impactful transfers that they'll have next season for sure. So I think they'll make some noise in the SEC. All right, what are we at? 19
No, we got
or
20 now.
20? 20. Who you got at 20?
Oklahoma.
Okay, 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 so we're getting a little similar. I have Michigan. We kind of already
Oh, I have
touched.
Oklahoma for all the same reasons as you do, honestly, with the quarterback
Cool.
and running back they got bring coming in.
I have similar reasons for Michigan that you said as well. I think it all depends on Bryce under center. We'll see how he does. It's a lot of pressure, especially being a freshman, but he's making the money for
What you got for
it.
19?
Louisville,
Hmm. I got Miami.
Miami. That wow at 19. That's surprising. Why so? So high.
I feel like they're gonna be good, but I feel like they're gonna drop a few games here and there. Like, cause I mean,
Okay.
Carson Beck, he had a down year last year, but he's still a really good college quarterback in my opinion. But
Mm.
I'm not too sure about them. We'll just see how far Carson Beck can take him.
Carson Beck, yeah. I think he's gonna underperform this season actually. I'm not really too high on Carson Beck. We'll see how he does. And
Fair.
Miami, just in general, every year, same hype, same results.
I agree.
And then at
But
19, I have
we
Louisville. I
just
already
did
said Louis.
19.
I said Louisville. Yeah, yeah. I think Louisville, they're on the rise, you know. They finished last season really good. So I think
Yeah.
this will be a big year for them. So I have them in my top
Yeah,
20.
they're on my honorable mentions.
Okay, that's cool, cool.
All right.
And
What
what
about number
about
18?
18, SMU?
Okay. I have Texas A&M.
Texas A&M 18, okay.
Yeah, because for me, it's all about Marcel Reed. If he can improve as a thrower and a decision maker, not just a pure runner, then A&M can be good. And then they also have the transfer receiver, Casey Conception coming in, which
Hmm.
he could be huge for them.
Okay, that's very fair points. I have SMU at 18. I think SMU is gonna, I don't know, it's gonna be them and Clemson in the ACC. Like those are the two teams I think that will be very competitive. So we'll see how that goes. But I do think SMU is gonna be a very good team this year.
It's fair. All right, what about number 17 for you?
Ole Miss. I got Ole
Okay,
Miss. Hotty toddy. What about you?
I had the Florida Gators.
Florida Gators. Okay. Interesting.
I feel like DJ Lagway is going to have a huge year. And Florida, they've been getting better every single year since they had those few down years, and I feel like they're really coming back.
Yeah, that's very fair. I think Ole Miss will have a good season. I mean, they went 10-3 last year, 5-3 in the SEC, so that's not too bad. And they have Austin Simmons at quarterback, so we'll see how he does under center for
Hmm.
Coach Kiffin.
All right, but that's fair. All right, we'll be on 16. All right,
16, who you
16.
got?
I had the Baylor Bears.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I like that. That's a very, very good ranking for
What
us.
about
I
you?
have I have Tennessee.
What'd you say?
And it's Tennessee at 16.
Uh, how come?
I think it's gonna be hard to repeat what they did last year. They had a really good season last year.
Especially about
So
Nico.
yeah, especially without Nico. So we'll see how it goes for them. But I don't think they'll be the best they've ever been this year, but I can see them winning 10 games.
And for Baylor,
But
for me, I feel like this year Sawyer Robinson, I feel like he proves that he's an NFL quarterback. And with him, and then they got Bryson Washington.
mhm,
He's gonna have a huge season this year, and that's gonna be huge for Baylor. If they can get past the first few games around 3-1, maybe even undefeated, then they can make some real noise.
I agree. Those are very good takes, man. Who you got at 15?
I got Illinois.
Illinois, okay. I have Kansas State. Why Illinois at 15?
Well, for me, Illinois is gonna have a big season from Luke Altmaier. He's gonna have
Mhm.
a really big year this year for me,
Okay,
and they have a
that's a
good
very
O
fair
line
point.
room in general, very well rounded. They have a lot of depth there, so that's my reason.
Okay, I put Kansas State at 15. Surround Avery Johnson. He's a
Fair.
stud. So I think this will be his season where he finally like breaks out. So I think he'll have a really good season. And then they have a really good offensive line every year. Coach Klein always puts together a good O line. So I think K-State should be in the Big 12 championship, and I think they can very well win it. And
Fair.
then
Number
14.
14, I have Indiana.
Indiana. Okay.
What about you?
I had Indiana at 25, so big jump there. I have Florida. You know, like
Fair.
what you're saying about, I think DJ Lagway, he's a stud. He's gonna have a great year. So I think he's gonna put Florida on his back, and they should have a decent season this year in the SEC.
And for me, Indiana, if they can build off what they did last year and making all those games, and they have a very weak non-conference schedule, so if they can clear house there and pick up a few Big Ten wins here and there, then they'll be in good shape. But they just gotta win.
I agree. Yeah. You gotta win. All right, 13, who you got?
SMU.
SMU. Okay, that's respectable. I have Illinois. Same reasons
Okay.
why you have Illinois, where you had Illinois. I think Illinois is gonna be a good football team this year.
I feel like for me, SMU, Kevin Jennings, he's gonna take another step this year. Maybe a dark horse Heisman candidate. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I feel like they're just gonna build off what they did last year, and they have a
That's
chance to win the ACC.
yeah. Illinois has Luke Allmeyer coming back this season, and then Aiden Lottery at running back. So I think those two can do make a good some make some noise in the Big Ten as a good dynamic duo. All right, who
All
you
right,
got at what are we at?
12.
12 now. Okay, who you got?
I have the Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee, a little higher or a little lower than I had them. Okay. Why Tennessee at 12?
They have a stud on defense in Jermon McCoy, and their defense is full of studs all the way around. The only thing I'd be a little worried about there is the quarterback because their quarterback they had left, so now they kind of have to scramble. Their backup now is not a starter, so we'll see how their
Mm,
offense is. But they're always going to be a solid team.
it's very fair. I have South Carolina. I think I wanted to put South Carolina in the top 10, but I think just the top 10 teams are a little better than them. But I do think South Carolina is going to have a really good year this year. They finished last year really strong. So I think coming into this season, they'll have high expectations, and I think they'll perform up to those high expectations for sure.
That's fair. Who do you have at 11?
The highest team I have in the Big 12, Arizona State. I think,
My
you're
number
saying
11 is actually Arizona State as well.
okay, okay, now we're matching. Let's go. I think they'll have a good year. They should win the Big 12. I think it'll be down to them. Kansas State and Baylor. Those three will be the three teams to watch out for. But losing Scatterboo, it's really going to be hard to recover from. But they got what's his name? Tyson, Jordan
Jordan
Tyson.
Tyson,
Yeah,
he's a stud
he's a
receiver. And
stud.
St. Levitt, if he can improve, like if he can progress, they can be really
Oh
good if
yeah,
they build off their. Remember,
Levitt's
they almost beat Texas last year.
they should have beat Texas,
They should have.
but Levitt, yeah, he can have a Heisman season for
All
sure,
right.
no doubt in my
All right. We
mind.
we on number 10 now, yeah?
And then in our top 10, who you got?
University of South Carolina
Okay.
Cox.
Okay. That's a good pick there. Very similar to mine. Just a couple spots up. Why do you have them so high?
Because of Lenoris Stellars. He's a Heisman candidate right there. That man is a stud. He'll throw a touchdown, then he will run you over.
Yes, you will.
He's a stud.
It's a
What about
unit.
you?
Miami. I know that's a
Okay.
big jump from yours. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I don't think Miami's gonna perform like up to their expectations. They
Yeah,
never
that's
really
fair.
do. I don't think Carson Beck's gonna perform up to expectations either. But I think they deserve to be a top 10 team to start the year, and we'll see how that goes after their non-conference.
You also
All
can't
right.
forget South Carolina. They have Dylan Stewart off that edge. That boy's
Very
good.
good edge rusher. Yeah.
All right. Who you got 9?
Alabama.
I
Sweet
got
home
Bama too.
Alabama. Okay, there we go. We agreed
I
on
feel
that. I
like for
think,
me, I feel like Ryan Williams is going to continue to be a stud, man.
how old is
And
he?
he's only a
18?
sophomore this year. But for me, it's really this. I feel like what's his name, DeBoer, the coach DeBoer. I feel like
Yeah,
he's going to prove that he belongs to be an SEC coach, like a
I agree.
dominant coach.
I think Alabama should be a playoff lock this year, and I do have high expectations for them. Who you got at 8?
At 8, I got Oregon.
Oregon. Okay, that's fair. I have Notre Dame. They made the
Okay.
national championship game last year. Didn't have the expectation or didn't have the outcome they were wanting, but I do think they'll start off the year strong. They'll have a good year, and I wouldn't be shocked to see them in the playoffs for sure with their schedule. Their schedule's relatively easy.
For me on Oregon, I feel like Dante Moore proves himself that he's a good quarterback. And Oregon, they just have a really solid team year in, year out. So it's Oregon.
Yeah.
Who
I
you got
do
at
think
7? Oh, wait, my
one
fault.
second. I would say I think Jeremiah Love's the best running back
Oh, yeah,
in the country
100%.
for sure. He's a
He's gonna be
stud.
good.
Yeah, and I think he can really carry them far just by himself.
Speaking of Notre Dame, I have them at 7
Okay. Why is that?
because they have a great receiver and they got some returning studs like Greathouse is coming back and Jeremiah Love. The only question is really their quarterback. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, that's fair. I have the LSU Tigers at number 7.
Okay, it's fair.
LSU, they ended the season strong kind of last year. They beat up on my Baylor Bears, but that happens. But I do think their QB Nussmeier, he's gonna be a Heisman contender for sure.
Sure.
He's a stud, and I do think they have some receivers, and their defense is what really scares me. And I think they'll be very good next year.
All right. All right, number 6, I got the LSU Tigers.
Okay.
Pretty much all the same reasons you said. And this year they're adding Nick Anderson from Oklahoma. He was hurt last year, but people forget he's a stud.
Yeah.
Let's see. The only problem is their D line always gives out here and there towards the end of the year. So we'll see how that goes.
I got the Oregon Ducks at number 6. Shout out Austin Novosad. But yeah, I think the Oregon's gonna have a good season. They always do. They have crazy budget for NIL, so I think number
That
6
Nike
is a
money.
good spot for them. That Nike money, literally. Yeah.
All right, so we on number five now?
We're on number 5, yes, sir.
Who you got?
The Georgia Bulldogs. How about you?
I got Ohio State.
Ohio State at 5. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Why 5?
Because their quarterback, he's not proven. I mean, they still have Jeremiah Smith at the end of the day, which is he's might as well. He's probably a Heisman candidate too. The Caleb Downs, crazy team. But I feel like their team is going to be as far as the quarterback takes them. So we'll see.
That's fair. Georgia has Gunnar Stockton at quarterback. He hasn't really proven himself too much yet, so we'll see how that is. But I do think they're going to be a top 5 team. It's Georgia, you know what you're going to get from them. So I wouldn't be shocked to see them in the SEC championship, if not win the SEC next year for sure.
There. Who you got four?
Who do I have at 4? I have the Clemson Tigers. How
I
about
do
you?
too. I do
Okay,
too, baby.
why 4? Why 4?
For me, it's TJ Parker. He's going to be a stud this year. He's going to prove why he's a top five NFL draft pick this year. I mean, also with Cade Klubnik, I feel like he's going to show why he's a stud this year.
hmm That's fair. I think Klubnik's gonna have a breakout year. He's been good the last few years, don't get me wrong, but he still had some
Yeah, that's
mistakes.
fair.
But I think he's gonna clean that up a lot this year and come out looking strong. And they added a linebacker, Jeremiah Alexander, out of the transfer portal, and I think that's gonna be a big
They're
pickup
finally
for
using the
them.
portal. Dad was
They
finally using
are.
the
Dabo
portal.
is finally using the portal. And then you got wide receiver Tristan Smith from Southeast Missouri State. So we'll see how he
Ooh,
does.
cool.
All right. What are we at? 3?
Yep.
Who's your
Who
number
you
3?
got?
Oh, I guess go
Oh,
first.
I got
Pennsylvania
Texas
State.
Longhorns.
Okay. Same time, yes. But Pennsylvania, I got Penn State. Why
Penn
do you have
State?
UT? I have Penn State at 3.
Oh, Penn State. Okay. Yeah. Why do you have Penn State?
Why do I have Penn State? I actually had Penn State at like 9 or 10 when I first made this. Everybody will be mad at me for that, but I don't know. I don't really buy the Penn State hype. I know they're gonna be very good this year, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're gonna be anything too special. I could see them losing in the first round of the playoffs easily.
For me, I feel like Arch is going to prove that he's a stud. The only bad thing for Texas is they might only get this year from Arch. That's the bad thing for Texas because he's going to show that he's really that good. And
Really.
Texas they have a dominant defense, and they have some of those
Yeah.
they have some of the Waco boys.
They do have the Conley boys. Arch Manning, he's a stud. We'll see how that goes this year for him.
Uh,
Number 2, who do you got?
Penn State,
Okay. We're getting similar. We're getting very similar. Why do you have Penn State at 2?
because for me, Drew Aller is he's gonna prove why he's a top five, top eight quarterback in college football, and he came back. He could have went to the NFL last year. Some teams are willing to trade up for him in the first round last year. That's what I heard. And they have the best backfield duo in college football. So
They do. That's fair. All right.
who you got
I
too?
have, unfortunately, the Texas Longhorns.
Fair.
They're going to be good this year. I can't deny it. They got Arch Manning. I think he's going to be very good. And they also have Quintravion Wiseman at running back. I think he'll have end of the season last year he's breaking out, but I think this year it's going to be 1,200 yards rushing at least.
All right.
And then
Who's your number one?
my number one team. Now you go first.
I mean, I know who yours is, but
Yeah, it's obvious.
I got the Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay, Georgia at 1. I
I'll
have
tell you
the
why.
Ohio State Buckeyes.
Okay, for me, Kirby Smart, he hasn't won a chip in a minute for his standards. And their defense, I feel like Georgia's going to
Two
be out for
years.
blood this year. And I feel like Gunnar Stockton, he's not a top five quarterback, but you saw what they did with Stetson Bennett. I mean, they don't need a Heisman winning quarterback,
No, they
but
don't. Yeah, they could definitely go far. That's very good points. And I have Ohio State, obviously. I think Ohio State is going to win the championship again this year.
back to
They're
back,
returning a lot of key productions on offense and defense. So I think the Ohio State Buckeyes will have a great year this year.
they'll probably still lose to Michigan though.
Yeah, yeah, they'll go 11-1 and lose to Michigan for sure. But yeah, that
Sure.
wraps up our top 25 Campus and Pro preseason top 25 for this season. Let us know down in the comments if you agree, disagree. Let us know what we should have added or some honorable mentions. Just let us know. But yeah, that ends up our first video. I'll have the in the link in the description our YouTube, X, and TikTok. So go check those out. And yeah, please like drop a video or drop a like and subscribe. Thank you guys.